Hey friends, welcome back. I hope that you're doing well. I'm slightly under the weather today. I don't know if I'm getting like a cold or what's going on, but I'm gonna be doing a full face testing new drugstore makeup, and I'm really excited about a lot of things that I picked up. This is gonna be a first impression wear test, and I'm gonna be wearing all of these items for at least 10 hours, and I'm going to work today. So this is like, you know, actually going out into the real world test. And the first thing that I picked up, and I purchased everything through Ulta, but the first thing that I picked up is this Morphe Electric Current Palette. And I told you guys, this is the box that it comes in. I told you guys in one of my recent videos that, at least I think I did, I might have edited that part out, but that I was gonna pick up one of the new palettes from Morphe. But look at the cover on this. I think it's so cute. And Morphe has really like stepped up. I feel like they've just kind of rebranded and changed a bunch of their things, and I like what they have done so far. So this is what the palette looks like. Really cute. And then it has this nice mirror here, which I do love that. And then it comes with like a little thing on, you know, how you can use the eyeshadows. And then this is what the shades look like in the palette. So really pretty, like pinky purples and some neutral shades. So I just thought that this looked like something that I've been into recently, like with the pinks and purples, and just kind of a different take. So the packaging on this feels really nice. I believe I paid like $23 for this, so that is a little bit more expensive. I know like Morphe is kind of like higher end of drugstore, but honestly, like for the quality of this palette and everything, which we'll see how the eyeshadows are, I mean, this feels like high-end quality. So that is one thing I can say about at least the Morphe things that I have purchased recently. They have seemed like really high quality. I am gonna do the eyeshadow part first before I do my foundation, just in case any of these shades have fallout. I can clean it up, because this is the first time that I'm using this palette. And I'm sorry, I'm probably gonna sound a little bit nasally or a little bit congested just because I'm feeling slightly under the weather. It's like part of me didn't really want to film this video today because I just did not feel like talking. But then another part of me wanted to, because I'm super curious about these products. So yeah, I just sucked it up and we're filming a video. So I'm just priming my eyelids with the Milani eyeshadow primer. I'm going to first go in with this shade here in my crease. And that shade does have some kick up in the pan, but it seems like it's blending well on the eyelid. Let's use this shade here in the outer V and see how that goes. And this palette comes with 6 matte shades and 6 shimmery shades. It might be too pinky, I don't know, we'll see. Okay, this shade doesn't seem like it's having as much kick up in the pan. It could also just be my brush that I'm using. I'm just using the Sigma E25 blending. Okay, that seems like that's blending well, just like the other shade. No fallout. I mean, like, those are the things that I'm like looking for mostly with my eyeshadow palettes. Like, is it blending good? Does it have fallout? And I mean, honestly, even if it has fallout, that doesn't necessarily bother me. I just will make sure to do my eyeshadow before, you know, I do my foundation. It's like, as long as it doesn't continue to have fallout throughout the day. And of course, like, I don't want eyeshadows that are going to crease, but you know, as long as you use a good eyeshadow primer, that shouldn't be an issue. And then I'm going to go back with that original shade that I used in the crease in that same blending brush. Oops, I might have got just slightly a little too much. And then I'm going to blend around the edges. You could go a couple of different ways. Like you could use some of the more like neutral type of shades, or you could do some of like these pinks or some of these purpley, pinky sort of shades. So I think that's what I'm gonna do. I'm gonna use the pinky purples. So I'm gonna go in with the darkest purple, and I may end up putting some of this color in the outer V as well. Just because I feel like I might need to just darken up the outer V color, since that pink isn't like super dark or anything. So yeah, let's just like tap this. I'm like, am I having any fallout with that shade? Doesn't look like it. I did tap my brush off well. Okay, and then I'm taking some more of this purple and just blending it in the outer V to just deepen this up. And just kind of have like that pink peak above the purple. And then I'm gonna go back with the blending brush here. I'm just gonna wipe off like that shade that's on there. And I'm gonna get some of the pink, like that brighter pink shade that I used in the outer V. And I'm just gonna lightly go around the edge of the purple. I just want it to kind of glow from around it. Then I'm gonna take some of the pink here, this purple pink color, or warm purple shade maybe. And I'm just flipping that flat shader brush over to the other side, packing the shade on the brush, tapping off the excess. And I'm just gonna place that shade kind of more so on the center, kind of overlap it with that dark purple. I'm gonna get some more of the dark purple, also pat it, just kind of go back and forth to blend those two shades. I'm also not having any fallout with this shade either. Yeah, I don't see any. For the sort of inner corner area of the eye, I'm going to use the light pink. Just going to take it over that other pink shade. And normally I would take this underneath the eye, but I'm just going to wait because, you know, I'm going to do my foundation and everything. Okay, it's like I do want this to be a little bit darker out here. So I'm gonna grab that dark brown just on the Sigma E25, and I'm gonna lightly blend just to see if I can sort of deepen things up a little bit. It's like, yeah, maybe if that dark brown was just like a dark purple, which I guess kind of on the eyelid, it is kind of coming off more purple than it is brown. And I don't know, that might be just because I already used purple. And then I'm just gonna go back with some more of the pink. Just go around the edge. Okay, and I might just see, like, let's take this pink on my finger, and I don't know, it's like I just want this pink to pop a little bit more right there. Like, I would say that the shimmers in this palette are not super in your face shimmery. Like, they just look like regular shimmers, except for maybe that light pink. It looks pretty shimmery. Okay, I'm gonna go ahead and clean up the outer corner area with a makeup remover wipe. Just go like this, just to get more of a sharp edge and to make sure the eyeshadow is not down too far. Okay, so the next thing that I picked up at Ulta is this L'Oreal Skin Ink. And you're supposed to shake it up really well before you use it, but this is supposed to be like a hybrid product that's a foundation concealer combo. It's supposed to last for up to 48 hours. Who's wearing their foundation for 48 hours? I don't know. But so it claims to last for a long time. Now, whenever I was ordering this off of Ulta, I was curious, like, how much product is in here, because it definitely looks smaller than a regular foundation. I looked everywhere on Ulta's website. I could not figure out like how much product came in this. So I just went ahead and ordered it just because I am curious about it and I like to review stuff for you guys. But it only comes with a half of a fluid ounce. So most foundations come with a fluid ounce. So you're getting half the products that you would normally get. It has a like doe foot applicator, like a concealer, like a large doe foot applicator, kind of like Tarte Shape Tape or any of those types of concealers. And what else was I going to say? Oh, I paid $18.99 for this. So basically $19 for half of the product. So we're looking at more high-end pricing actually for this product, even though it is drugstore. So I'm expecting this to be amazing. And I debated on like what shade to get in this. They have 21 different shades. And I ended up getting 20, or no, wait a minute here. I got 80 warm, but I'm kind of thinking like maybe I should have gotten a neutral shade because this seems maybe slightly a little bit too warm. So we will see how I feel about it. And I guess since it's supposed to be like a foundation and concealer in one, you can also use it as your concealer. I'm just going to put some of my eye cream underneath my eyes again since I kind of wiped it off when I fixed my eyeshadow there. Let's go ahead, and it says to work in sections. So let's just put a little bit of it here. And I think that maybe the shade isn't too warm. Maybe it'll be okay. And I'm not going to use a brush. I'm just going to use my makeup sponge because that's what I would normally use. Okay, that seems like super thin on the coverage. Okay, yeah, I'm definitely want a little bit more than that. So let's add a little bit more. And it's like I'm so used to not using foundation as concealer, which I might, I don't know. Like, you know, it's like with concealer, a lot of times I like to use something lighter coverage. But I will say that this stuff does seem like it dries down really fast. Like I swatched some of this on my hand last night and it did like set up super quick. So I have not used the Urban Decay. I forget what that product is called, but it's kind of a product like this, like where it sets up super quick and has more of like a matte sort of finish. So I'll just pop it up on screen like the product that I'm talking about, but I feel like maybe this is kind of like a dupe to that or like a similar product. So this is at least this side of my face compared to this one. So it does cover really good once you kind of build it up. I mean, it does seem pretty undetectable on the skin. It does mattify. So I don't know. I really like the finish on that. It's like I don't necessarily like the price tag. And the only place where this foundation is available right now is Ulta. So I don't know if it's like an Ulta exclusive type of product or if it's just like Ulta has it first. But maybe if this was sold at other places like Walmart, maybe it would be slightly cheaper, like $15 or something like that. Because you know how like Walmart is a little bit cheaper. But still, it's like, if this was a high-end foundation, it would be close to 40 bucks. That's basically high-end pricing, you know? So it's like, this better be good. I was not impressed by L'Oreal's other foundation that they came out with. That was like the Lumi, like skin tint stuff. Can't remember what that product was called, but I'll pop it up on screen. I did not care for that. It just was way too luminous. It looked really greasy on the skin. And I have like more normal to slightly oily. So I tend to kind of go for, especially in the summer, foundations that are a little bit more on the matte side like this. Just because if I use a super luminous foundation in the summer and it's, you know, if it's humid out, it just melts and look super greasy. I have like a sleep line on my face there. But yeah, this does seem like it blends well. It seems really like buildable. It doesn't seem like it's getting cakey with me building it. So the claims seem pretty accurate so far. We'll see how it holds up over a 10-hour workday. And this is actually a really good match for me. So I did a great job picking this out. I always am a little bit hesitant about what shade I need to order when I'm ordering things online. But they did have like swatches on Ulta, so it did make it a little bit easier. But sometimes you never really know how those swatches are gonna be. Oh, and I just realized I did not put any of this underneath my eyes over here for concealer. So I might add a little bit more of this to the other eye for a little bit more coverage for concealer. Oops. Like the finish on this seems very similar to my Maybelline Lumi Matte. I don't think that this looks terrible for a concealer, but I don't really think it's my favorite. Just because I want something a little bit more brightening. So it's like, for that, I would need to get like a lighter shade in this, and it's like, then you are spending like 40 bucks. Okay, so here is this foundation all blended out, and hopefully I blended it well back here. I always sometimes forget to blend really well right back at my jawline, but it has a nice matte, almost like semi-matte sort of finish. So I think this would be really pretty over top of like a luminous primer if you wanted it to be a little bit more glowy looking. I don't think that I necessarily need to set this with the powder just because it did set itself really well. So I think I might actually skip a powder or maybe just lightly powder like my T-zone area just to kind of lighten just a little bit. Let's maybe do that. It's like, actually, maybe let's use the Maybelline Fit Me because this is a brightening powder for me. And I'm gonna take just a little bit of this powder on my makeup sponge. And I'm just gonna lightly just pat some of the powder here just to kind of brighten. Okay, off camera, I went ahead and filled in my eyebrows with my NYX eyebrow pencil, just in the shade Black. And then the next thing that I picked up is the Maybelline Super Lock. This is the tinted version in deep brown. So I've really enjoyed just the clear version of this. So I really wanted to try out the tinted one to see if I like it just as much as the clear one. And I think they have 4 different shades in this. No red tones though. So if you have like red or auburn hair, they don't have really any super warm toned colors, or at least online it didn't look like they did. So it comes with a brush like this, just like the clear, which this does seem maybe slightly a little bit warm toned. Okay, so let's go ahead and use this on the brows. I'm just kind of curious to see if this will really lock the brows in place as good as the clear. I mean, it definitely feels like the clear one going on the brows. Okay, yeah, I think I really enjoy that. So we'll see how that holds up throughout the day. I mean, so it's like not anything like revolutionary, but I do feel like it has separated my brows pretty good, and it seems like it's holding them up well. So, all right, I'm gonna go back to the eyes and finish them out now that I got like my foundation done. I'm gonna first go in with this shade and the Sigma Pencil E30. Make sure I tap off the excess. And I'm just gonna smudge this here on the lower lash line. And then I'm gonna go in with that dark brownish purple or cool toned brown. And I'm just gonna lightly smudge some of that here. Okay, and then in the inner corner, I'm just going back with more of that light pink. And I'm just gonna run it here on the lower. And then I'm just gonna wipe that brush off. And then I'm gonna go in with the shade, which I just realized that these have names on the back here. It's got like the names. So that is in the shade Cream on Top. I'm just gonna use that as my brow bone highlight. But here's the eye, like the eyeshadow portion done. Really, really pretty. I really like this purple eye. So it definitely created like a beautiful purple eyeshadow look. So yeah, I really, first impression was, I really, really like this palette. I love the design of it. I love the colors. So the next thing that I picked up, it's another Morphe product. This is their Sudden Heat Creamy Bronzer Stick. And I picked up the shade in Flicker, which is, I think maybe like the second to the lightest shade. The packaging on this is smaller than what I was expecting it to be. Like if I was to compare this to like Rare Beauty, like you can see it's quite a bit shorter there. And like if I was to compare it to like an e.l.f. blush, it's basically the same height as like the e.l.f. Camo liquid blushes, so that kind of gives you like a reference as to how big the stick is. And I'm not gonna like screw this all the way up, but you know, sometimes packagings like this, they're a little bit deceiving because you think you're getting a lot more products, but really it's like the same amount. So I'm all for brands making things a little bit more compact. So let's get my brush that I want to use. Okay, so I'm gonna first put a little bit of this here, just kind of like a contour. And then I'm just gonna blend that out with this Real Techniques brush. And sometimes with these types of products, you know, you might need to use them over different foundations to really get a good feel for how they blend and all of that, because sometimes they might not blend well over certain foundations. And I feel like possibly it's not blending the best over this L'Oreal one. But you know, then again, it's like, if it was a good product, wouldn't it blend well over anything, you know? Okay, yeah. I'm not really, I don't know if you can see, it looks kind of patchy there. So I'm not really a fan of that. It's kind of disappointing. Let's try on this side. Sometimes I have issues with that side of my face blending products well, so it might just be me and not the product. It's definitely blending well over here. See? It looks so much better over here. Like, what is wrong with my face on this side? Okay. I don't want to keep adding product. Let's kind of go above. And I'm going to take a different brush this time. Okay, that did seem to blend a little bit better. I think maybe it was just like my face. I do like the tone on this. It's a bit more like cool neutral. It's not orangey at all. So if you don't like a super warm toned bronzer, this would be a color that you would probably like. Like I know my Rare Beauty bronzer, I think it's in Power Boost or something like that. It is more warm toned than this one in Flicker. Okay, so let's put some up here at the hairline. It's like, I don't really know if like texture wise or anything, if this is any better than my Physicians Formula Butter Bronzer. Maybe I'll have to do a video where I compare this to the Butter Bronzer or some of the other liquid bronzers just to figure out like, is this really worth the price tag? Okay, that blended out well. Okay, so it seems like the rest of my face, this is blended out good. It was just that one little spot on my cheek over there was having a little bit of issues. And I feel like in general, sometimes I have issues with products blending well right there on my face. I don't know why. Guess I just have some like weird texture going on, but maybe this would work better over, you know, a different finished foundation. Okay, and then I got another Morphe product. This is their Cheek Thrills Multi-Finish Face Trio. And I got Beach Bonfire. So it's the ones that have like the cream, like the two creams, and then the powder. So this is what it looks like here. And honestly, like I hadn't seen the lid, because when I've seen these in Ulta, the testers, it's like you don't really see what the lid looks like. So it's just kind of like the color of the product, which is cute. And then it's got the little thing here to separate. I haven't taken the little thing off of the mirror yet. So I'm trying to figure out what I want to do. I guess I'll go in with the top cream. I don't know if I want to use that shimmery one quite yet. And I'm just going to use the Morphe M241. Whoops. My brush just hit my coffee cup. Okay, and I'm just going to lightly stamp that cream on the cheeks there. But Morphe has several different colors in these blushes, and they have some really bright colors that would look amazing on somebody with like a deeper skin tone. I did want to get like the red toned one. It was like a red coral. But of course, Ulta Online was sold out of that one. But they do have some really pretty, just more natural shades like this one in Beach Bonfire. Okay, that seems like that's blending pretty good. Okay, now I'm going to go in with like the powder. And just lightly tap that on top. Okay, yeah, that is a really pretty, just everyday, like nude pink color. It goes well with like the eyeshadow palette. That's kind of why I picked this one out. I thought like this actually would look better anyway with this eyeshadow palette than the red one would have. I do feel like I have some weird patchiness kind of going on right here. So I don't know. I feel like with that bronzer, it just is a little bit patchy on my face maybe. I don't know. I'm just not thrilled with the bronzer. And I don't really know if it's this foundation, the bronzer itself. So let's go ahead and mist with my Urban Decay All Nighter Makeup Setting Spray. And I'm almost out of this, so maybe let's not use that. We'll just use the LA Girl setting spray, and I'm just gonna lightly mist, nothing like too crazy. I just want to kind of tone down some of the powderiness. I went ahead and got my clothes on for today, so I just decided to wear one of my other tie-dye shirts with this purple eyeshadow. I thought it looked really pretty. So the last two things, I picked up the Maybelline Colossal Bubble Mascara. So we're going to use this, and then I also got a couple of new lip products. So let's go ahead and curl my lashes up. This is what the packaging looks like. And then let's take a look at the brush. Okay, and then this is what the brush looks like. It's kind of twisty. And I think this is a natural bristle brush. Yeah. I think like the Colossal mascara from Maybelline, like all the different versions they've done of that has always had like a natural bristle type of brush. And this says that it's supposed to have buildable, inflated volume, sleek separation. And I normally like Maybelline mascaras. Like the only Maybelline mascara that I've used recently that I haven't liked is the Firework mascara. I didn't care for that one. But this one seems like it's building good. It looks like it does have good volume and separation. And I'm really not having to get like up under the lashes as much to get like a good lift. Okay, so that is coat 1 with this mascara. Let's do this eye. And then let's go in with coat 2. Like, I feel like I don't really have to do too much to get it to build, so that's really nice. So that's the second coat on the mascara on this eye. This is just the one coat. So definitely getting some good volume and length, but not like so much volume where it looks clumpy. And I am going to use this on the lower just to see if it smudges. So let's do like a coat of that here on the lower lashes. I really like the way this mascara looks. So first impressions, I really like this. So we'll see if it flakes or smudges throughout the day, but I think it gave really great volume and separation. So, okay, and then for lips, I picked up one of the Maybelline Glaze lip products, and I also purchased the L'Oreal, I don't know if this says on here what this is called. Okay, so this is the L'Oreal Infallible Lack Resistance Liquid Lipstick. So this is supposed to be like a long wearing shiny lipstick, kind of like the Maybelline Superstay Vinyl Inks or the NYX Lip Avies. Like how these are long wearing, but at the same time glossy. And I picked up the shade in Worth It. So it just comes with like a little wand here. And this is what the packaging looks like. So actually, before I go in with the L'Oreal one, because this is the one I want to wear today, let's just put this Maybelline Glaze lipstick on just so we can see what it looks like. This is in the color Cherry Swirl. And this kind of has the same sort of feel as the Revlon Super Lustrous Shine lipsticks. This might not be quite as buttery as those Revlon ones. Like this one, it feels like it might stick on the lips a little bit longer. But I'm glad I got this shade in Cherry Swirl because since it is like a little bit more of a sheer lip product, probably the nude ones might not show up quite as much. It does have buildable color on it there. That's what it looks like swatched. So I could see myself using this a lot in the summer. It's like in between like a gloss, like a balm, a gloss, and a lipstick kind of feel on the lips. So I really like that. All right, let's take this off and I want to put on the L'Oreal. So the texture on this feels a little bit thicker than like the Maybelline Superstay Vinyl Inks. It kind of feels like in between the Maybelline Vinyl Inks and the NYX Lip Avies. At least right now it doesn't feel super sticky on the lips, but I did test this out last night. Like I applied it just to see like what the color looked like. And it does kind of dry down and get a little bit tacky like the Maybelline Superstay Vinyl Inks. So I would say that this is pretty comparable to that. This is all the makeup products, like the final makeup look, so you can see everything up close. And then we'll see what everything looks like later this afternoon. I'm probably not going to be able to do a midday check-in at work, so we'll just see what it looks like after like somewhere between 8 to 10 hours. Okay, so to show you guys the time, it is 7:09 a.m. So I will see you guys later this afternoon and we'll see how everything is holding up. Okay guys, I'm back and it is 5:03 p.m. So just slightly shy of 10 hours. My hair's a little bit crazy. I just got home from work a little bit ago. So this is what the makeup is currently looking like. So just to give you an overview of what I think about these products, first impression wise, wearing them all day. So I do really like this lip. I did reapply it once after I had lunch, and I was finished with lunch around 11:30 a.m. So this has been on since 11:30 a.m. basically. So this holds up really well. So I do really like this. The mascara did transfer here on my under eyes, so I would not wear this mascara on my lower lashes. It worked out pretty good on the upper. Like, I think it might have slightly transferred. So I need to wear this mascara a few more times to get like a full opinion on it. But I do feel like it held my curl well throughout the day. It didn't flake. Maybe it did slightly right there. It looks like I've got like a few mascara flakes. So like I said, I'll have to use that a little bit more. This right here, the Maybelline Super Lock Brow Gel. I feel like this has held my brows so well all day. So first impressions, really like this. The eyeshadow has held up really well all day long. So first impressions, I really like the eyeshadow palette. So I will obviously continue to use these things and give you more of an opinion on them. Like, I'll use all these products in future videos. So the things that I am on the fence about, it's like one of those things where I don't know which of these isn't great. Like, if the foundation isn't good and that's why these products are not looking good, or if this is good but these products are just bad. I mean, honestly, when I was blending out the Morphe contour earlier, it just didn't seem like it was blending good and was patchy. And like, as you can see now on my face, like, it does not look any better. And I feel like the blush also looks patchy. It's like, I don't know if the blush looks bad because of the bronzer or because of the foundation. I don't know. I mean, I feel like the foundation looks pretty good in the T-zone. I mean, it definitely got a little bit more dewy. So it's one of those foundations that I am going to have to use a little bit more to really know how it works. Like, I need to use this with like bronzers and blush that I know look good. I mean, I definitely don't like the price tag on this, and I don't like that you get half of a fluid ounce. I mean, it's a cool concept that you can use it as your foundation and concealer. And I like how like small and sleek it is, but it's like at the same time, I feel like I'm gonna waste like a lot of product in there because you've got like the doe foot applicator, and then it also doesn't come with a lot of product. So I hope that you guys did enjoy this first impressions wear test on these new drugstore makeup items. Have you guys used any of these products yet? Like, what are your thoughts on them? Are you interested on picking any of these things up? Like, let us know in the comments. Also, let me know any video requests that you have. I hope that you all have a great day, and I will see you all in the next one. Bye-bye.